Hello everybody, welcome back to the workshop. So, today we are going to be making a Russian rose. Now I did this on a live stream at a full demonstration, but today I figured I'd show you how to do it as far as a video is concerned. Excuse me a second, I gotta get me a piece of soapstone and we'll begin. So, what we're going to be doing here is we're going to be starting with a piece of 1/8 inch by 1 inch flat stock. So 1/8 inch is 3 mil or almost 4 mil. It's 3.175 mil. And then the 1 inch is 25 mil. And then the length is really undefined or unspecified. But we're going to start laying out some little check marks here. We're going to lay them out at the very first starting checkpoint. We're going to go ahead and do 1/4 inch or 6 mil. Then we're going to go to the next one. We're going to make the next one. We're going to add about an 1/8 inch to each one is the ideal here. So we did 1/4 inch. Now we want to do what's in between 1/4 and half. It'll be 3/8. So we want to lay off about 3/8 inch of material. I believe 3/8 inch material is 9.5 mil, and then we're going to keep moving on out. We're going to do 1/2 inch and so on and so forth all the way out till we get some petals that are roughly about 3/4 of an inch wide. Okay, so we want to start smaller and then we want to work our way out bigger. So 3/4 of an inch wide. I don't have it on my reference sheet here, but somebody can comment in the comment section down below. I'm thinking it is right around 15 mil, somewhere in there. It's about 15 mil is what we're working out to. So you just keep making these a little bigger. You don't have to be this exact. It's really up to you. You can just, you could do whatever it is that you want to do. But the ideal is to get about 10 of these going. Okay? So we want to get about 10 of these going. So we got 1 cut, 2 cut, 3 cut, 4 cut, 5 cut, 6 cut. So that'll equal 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then we're working on number 7 here. And then 8. Then 9, and then 10. So we're just doing 10 petals here. 10 total petals. So that's what you're going to need for your rose, or your little Russian rose here. And I just wanted to take and explain that out to you. So, from about here on are all 3/4 inch petals. From here forward, they descend down to 1/4 inch. And that is so that way that'll be in the center of the bundle when you're done. And then the 4 3/4 inch petals will be on the outside of the bundle when you're done. Now, as I'm talking here, once we get these cut the individual striations in, we are going to forge this last little bit down into a tang, essentially, or a stem, if you will. We're going to forge that area there down, and then just cut it off somewhere in here. So our total overall length, let me grab my ruler. Our total overall length, if you guys can see all this, yep, you guys can see it all on the camera, good, is about 12 inches of material is what you need for this. Now, that's going to stretch out, of course. You can make it longer or shorter depending on your application. You can add more petals or less petals. Once again, depending on your application. This is just to take and get you started. So this is what I'm going to mark out now with a center punch mark. And we'll get in the fire and we'll come back and do the very first stage, which is actually cutting in these petals. We are going to use a hardy tool to cut down into the petals. And we're going to run these all to the same point, or just a little over halfway of the bar. So in about 1/2 inch or 12.5 mil is what we are going to cut into the bar, and then we will go from there. And I will be right back with you after we get that work done. Okay, so now that we've got that cut, I'm going to give you guys a quick rundown of what we're going to be doing. We're going to be coming here now and taking a small cross peen and lengthening these petals. Now, you want to use a cross peen and not any other type of hammer, because we're trying to get these to grow up above this center line here, or essentially to extend above that original 25 mil. So, or 1 inch if you will. So if I measure this real quick, yeah, we are right at 1.25 inches is where we're at, or 32 mil. So I think that's 32 mil. You guys could correct me if I'm wrong in the comment section. But anyways, so what we're going to do is we're going to heat up each petal, and we're going to draw these out lengthways first, and then we're going to draw them out laterally. Now what this is going to do for us, drawing them out lengthway first, is going to provide more space in between the petals, okay? So right here in between the petals, it's going to supply more space. Then when we draw it out laterally, those won't conflict with one another, but they should roll right up into one another. So we're going to go ahead and go to the next one, 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 next one, and next one, progressively. Now this last one I didn't cut loose, and if you notice here, I'll point out a mistake. This one I didn't quite get on the mark, so this one missed the mark, and every other one after that missed the mark. So that's kind of a shame, but oh well, I was able to make them look right anyhow. That's where laying out doesn't necessarily technically help you. You can kind of just eyeball this and get it done. Just know that after you're done, you want about 10 petal segments. And then on the last petal segment, that is what you'll actually forge the offset into. And that offset needs to be away from the petal side. So it's going to be over here. So you're going to be forging down. So this way you can bend that away from the petals to become the stem. But we'll get to that here in a second. Let's go ahead and finish forging these out. Okay everyone, so now we're going to go ahead and go over to the anvil now, and we are going to set down this final transition point back here. We're going to go ahead and do it on the off side of the anvil, or the far side of the anvil, and we're just going to do half on half off blows until we squeeze this down into something that looks like a stem, and that's what we are going to go for. So next clip we'll be at the anvil and we'll be doing that. Okay everyone, now that you've got this forged out, the next thing that you have to decide is which way you're going to roll this. Now you can start here and bend this stem down and then roll up from here going forward, or you can take it from this very end, which is what I originally intended to do, and that's what we're doing. And we're going to roll this down. I should have mentioned that to begin with. If you do it the opposite way, so if you do it from this end, rolling forward that way, you need to make this your smallest petal and this your largest petal. Doing it the way I'm doing it, we're going to roll from the end of the bar, and we're going to just roll the petals all the way up into our little Russian rose. Now, the next thing that I'm going to do here is I'm going to spread each one of these petals laterally. So not linearly, but we're going to do it laterally now, as perceived from the back of the spine. We're going to forge them left and right of that. So I'm going to start with the smallest one and progressively go right up the stop, nice and easy. And then the last bit here is, like you might surmise, we're just going to start rolling this up like a big Tootsie Roll. Okay, so as what you can see, what I've got here is I've just rolled this up. Now, I'm going to wait for this last little bit. I want to be able to take and grip this and bend this section right here that away. So this way I can take and finish out my wrap, and I'll position my stem right under the bloom itself. So I don't want to take and roll this up any further than what I've got it. There's really no point in brushing it right now at this point in time, but I'm just going to brush it up a little bit so you can see what I've got going on. I can stop from dropping it, of course. So as you can see, it's not real hard, it's not real difficult. It's just, you know, it takes some prep time to get to this point. Once you get to this point, it goes pretty easily. As you can see, it's starting to look like a little bit of like a rose. So we're going to go ahead and heat this up, and with a rawhide mallet, we're going to come right here to the edge of the anvil, and we're just going to bend this right over at a 90 degrees and then finish wrapping it up. we're just going to grip the bloom in the vise. We're going to try to pull this little stem over where it belongs. And, you know, just try to grip the bloom the best we can. And just pull this little stem over where it belongs using the tongs. And you can, you know, you can play with this as much as you like. I'm just going to help do it with the scrolling tongs. And the ideal is to take and try to get it up to where it's more centrally located. And I'll go over to the anvil and give it a few taps. Get it all lined up here. Ideal to get it tucked up underneath there if you can. And so you get it to look more like a rose. Like so. Hopefully you guys can see that there. These are meant to be a representation of a rose. So that's something I would like to point out there. So don't worry if it doesn't look quite like you'd want it to. You know, as far as looking all perfectly like a rose, like natural and whatnot. It doesn't have to look good. This here is just meant to be a representation of a rose. So, you know, take your time with it, play around with it. As you can see right here, I can take and give all this stuff up. I could go ahead and, you know, tweak all these pieces and stuff and make it look more rose-like. I could also definitely take another heat on this, you know, and make it more believable. And that's probably what we'll do. So go ahead and get another heat on this and just kind of pry around on these a little bit and play with them to finish it off. So that's going to be it for this particular video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I will do a finish up video of this in another video. It'll probably be the one that'll come out just right after this one is aired. And in that video, I'll go ahead and do a finish on it, and I will talk about the finishes and stuff that you can apply to it and make it definitely something special for that loved one of yours. So anyways, that's it for today. I hope you all enjoyed it. If you did, give it a thumbs up. And like I always say, God bless you, and we will catch you on the next one.